Hello, and welcome to EthFinance Record, your daily update for everything that's happening in Reddit's EthFinance daily thread. So, let's have a look. The first post we have here is from Cash, who says, last December I bought patriots.eth for 0.67 ETH, roughly $2,620. Today someone bought it from me for 75 ETH, about $94,000 after fees on OpenSea. It appears to be going to the sports team. And then they share a tweet from New England Patriots. We're extremely excited to work with Chain, our official Web3 blockchain partner. So it kind of makes sense that they bought that ENS. Just wanted to share a really happy moment. Being involved with Ethereum has changed my life in so many ways over the past few years, and I'm grateful as hell to be part of it. Fuck a bear market. If you're feeling bad about the direction of the price, get involved in some of the amazing things people are building on here, and there's lots of opportunities. So that's one of the situations that I found myself in. I quit my job a few months ago, and I remember posting on EthFinance about how, I'm not quite desk shitting, but I'm quitting, and it feels really good to quit. So one of the things that I wanted to do was start giving back to the community, and I started making these videos for Rocket Pool, and that was the community that I've been a big part of recently. And I was always I always thought of EthFinance as my home, as a first home. So it only made sense that I'm starting to give back to this community as well. And I feel like it's really good to be able to do that during the bear market now. So there's some comments here about how it's very nice and people are very happy for Cash, and lots of congrats, and I'm really happy for them too. Good job. Okay, next we have this comment from LLupine, which is, I think, a reference to Arrested Development, which is where I know LLupine from, but that's a great username. And they said, it's not all bad from yesterday's meeting, referring to the Fed stuff. The Fed has been very consistent in the message and the actions. We will continue to raise rates until inflation is killed. Up until yesterday, that message has been followed by a disclaimer that there is a chance that it doesn't work and inflation will continue. Yesterday, that disclaimer wasn't there. Powell said that it's working and they will stay the course until the job is done. The data backs up that statement. Hard inflation is 8.3%, which looks bad on the surface, but it's important to know that this number is a 12-month rolling sum of the month-over-month inflation values. If you check those month-over-month values, you will see July was 0% and August was 0.1%. That's 2 months in a row that are below target inflation. Unfortunately, September 2021 was one of the lowest inflation months of the last year at 0.4%. Because of that, we won't see headline inflation numbers drop substantially next month. However, October 2021 was no joke, 0.9% for the month. Sentiment probably begins to shift in November when headline inflation starts to show a substantial decline. TLDR, which I read for you, if the trends in the data continue to hold, this is the gloomiest and doomiest that sentiment is going to get. So I think posts like this might actually be finding threads of some alpha in the market movement. If you start thinking of the inflation numbers as a lagging indicator, which they are, then you have to start looking at the signs of where things are now, right, to get a better idea of where things might go. Where we were 12 months ago, and this doesn't necessarily paint the best and the clearest picture for that. So I think LLupine here is doing sharing an interesting perspective to help us see how things might change sooner than we expect. And then Moondance Kid says this is a good explanation of how CPI is computed. And Scientist says trying to figure out how headline inflation is calculated based on posts, and then ask some questions. And there's some discussion that gets started because of the comment from LLupine. So next we have this post from Luukiemans, who says bullishness doesn't have to be price focused. So they shared a status from Twitter from ultrasound.money that says 1 week since the merge, 0 incidents, 99.4% participation, 99% less electricity burn, 8 times less issuance, 19 times less supply growth, 5 consensus clients, 4 execution clients, 8,000 execution nodes, and 18 billion economic security. So it's a matter of perspective, right? Like, just because the numbers in the price haven't done what we expected to do, and maybe our friend ratio is having quite a tough time compared to what we were expecting to happen about now, it doesn't mean that you can take away from the fact that the merge has been a huge success from a technological perspective, an environmental perspective, an economic security perspective, and like just in terms of really showing the world that Ethereum and the team and the developers, the core developers, can ship. So that's really great. Oh yeah, okay. And then Hani Abu says there's 5. Nimbus has an execution client now, and granted it's not mature yet. So there's a lot of good stuff happening. There's a couple of the good comments that you can check out as well. Next, we had this comment from KBrot, who says, just some digestion posts until we get up to a point where I can do a deep dive into exactly what happened yesterday and why the game has changed for the next 12 months or so. We're licking our wounds, but the market is absolutely primed for a pump into the weekend. At least metrics are deep fried oversold, and we've got daily bullish divergence on growth indices, QQQ Tech and IWM small caps, which are often leaders, as well as the bond canaries. Our number one canary, HYG, has only a class B div equal lows, and we'll accept it. Reminder that divergences do not have to play out, but they commonly do. If you're in SPY and DIA, S&P and Dow, note that they do not have bull divergences, just confluent lower lows. As I say this, the pump could very well be accompanied by a fresh dump, first to about 374 using SPY, where the options expected move for the week has a lower bound. That could be a touch on 374 and then up again into the weekend. Or it could be a bounce off the close today and a further dip Friday. Don't know, doesn't matter. Targets on either side go like 374 to 378, 382, 385.5, 388.6. Crypto is similarly oversold on the short timeframes in terms of divergences. BTC has a bull div on the daily RSI, but because ETH was overall much stronger through September, its plunge removed any chance of a bull div printing this time. Additionally, BTC shorts are confirming a topping pattern and beginning to head downward. As always, the derivative of short chart is volatility, not any guarantee of up or down. However, every top in shorts in 2020 year to date has marked a local bottom. Previously, shorts topped December 3rd, 2021, and that was obviously a breakdown, so there's no guarantees, just probability. ETH, having sadly exited down through the summer channel bottom, will now act as resistance around 1310. Below 1225 again is dead air to about 1150. So the ETH price right now is actually above 1300 last I checked. BTC again, sorry, that was my commentary. BTC again, being weaker crypto this summer, has lower humps to clear and retrace in this bounce. Once it breaks back above 18,950, there's room to move up to 19,500. Close below about 18,250 again, though, and it's straight to 17.5k. And for posterity, I mentioned I'd reignite a short with close below 1250. Well, I did not open the short position because the close was only 1245, and I'd like a little buffer room with my personal calls, 10% usually. Happy to respond to more questions about FOMC, but no, I will have more comprehensive take, either video or write-up on the weekend. Cheers all. So thanks for KBrot for that update. Basically, the markets are showing some things that might be bullish, they're showing some things that might be bearish, but it looks like in the very short term, maybe into the weekend and early next week, there might be some bullish movements. So let's see if we get that. Next, we have this comment by, let me just actually do this so you can read it. There you go. Exaka Locker. who says, reminder, merge went perfectly, price action be damned, it's time to have fun and build and push boundaries again. So I think like people are really getting into that mindset now where they want to start building, they want to start doing something, myself included, and other people in the communities here are like trying to get out there and like actually do things that will contribute to crypto and, you know, to the projects that we love, and trying to make sure that, you know, we get through this bear in the best possible way. Next, we have this comment by nixorokish, who says, POAPs from the mainnet merge call have mostly been distributed. You don't have to do anything. These were dropped directly to your wallet. Smiley face. Some small things are still being cleared up. The POAP raised a whopping $150,000 that's going directly to protocol devs. So I donated to this and I got my POAP too, and I'm really happy that I got it. It arrived today, and you know, then there's how do I know if I got it, and then you can go to the POAP website, and people are like trying to figure out whether they got it or they didn't get it, and some issues with that, but hopefully everybody will get it soon. So yeah, it was a really beautiful POAP. Next, we have this post from Savage Dragon. It says, if you ever feel sad, just remember there are bookcoiners who were bookcoiners at the time when Bitcoin was $1 a piece, and now still bookcoiners celebrating the crash from 69,000 to 19,000. Feeling sorry for others' money. So this is like a really interesting point that like it really puts things into perspective, right? Like the people who FUD will FUD regardless of what's happening, and the people who support the product, support the environments and like the protocols, tend to see more positivity in it. And here Savage Dragon is saying, like, you know, if you only focus on negative, these guys missed out on, you know, 69,000x gains potentially from where they first were bookcoiners to the peak of the market. So I feel like there's a lot of people who kind of just want to keep spreading that negativity, and sometimes it's best to just do what you trust in yourself, you know, with the best information available. Next, we have BuyETHorDAI, and this is DAI, which is a nice pun. Everyone here is disappointed in the price action, but it doesn't feel that long ago when people were here shitting bricks watching ETH drop below $100. I know a lot of people here have higher entries than the current price, but this was also the case in 2018 to 2022. People back then were just as worried, if not more so, because on the surface it looked like nothing was happening on the Ethereum app layer, when in reality it was the complete opposite. This is as true today as it was back then. Geopolitical and economic situation gripping the world is temporary, and to me this is just a bear market price action, par for the course. Just relax, breathe, and stop looking at the price if you're not planning on buying or selling. Enjoy yourself outside of crypto and use the opportunity to work on yourself or to learn more about Ethereum and actually use the network. The only metric people should be concerned with is current gas price and network activity level. It's the only metric that matters in the long term anyway. You don't get higher ETH prices and more adoption without seeing network activity increase. So I think this is a really interesting sentiment that, like, someone who lived through the previous bear cycle, like myself, I saw like there was really scary times, right? My portfolio was 90+% down. It was really painful to think about like just how much money I had lost, you know, quote unquote lost. Obviously I didn't sell anything, so I only had paper losses, not actual losses. But it was a really dark time, you know, like in end of 2018 and parts of 2019, there was just a couple of hundred comments in the daily every day, and DC Investor did a great job of like keeping everyone motivated, and like people like Superphase and JT used to post here a lot more back then, and like just really kind of like kept us going in a sense. I didn't used to post back then, but I read every post every day. And I think what BuyETHorDAI is saying that things are going to be okay, you know, you just have to wait it out. And thankfully there's people here in this community now who have those perspectives from the previous bear market and can share the fact that, you know, you can get through it if a little bit of patience happens. Of course, you know, the counter to that is what's happened in the past is not necessarily the guarantee of what's going to happen in the future. And, you know, this might be the time where crypto is dead, but hey, who knows? Next, we have this comment from LLupine, who says, I decided it would be fun to read one old EthFinance daily from the previous bear market every day, partly for entertainment and partly for perspective. I was around back then, but didn't really read the daily often, and I got lost for a bit when people switched from ETH Trader. Daily discussion, October 21st, 2019. ETH price, around $172. Highlights include some enthusiastic discussion about this new thing called EIP 1559 when someone shared David Hoffman's article, and then there's a link to that. There were also several complaints about ETH 2.0 being delayed into 2020. One EthFinance has said this: ETH 2.0 won't save you. When it hits, nothing will happen to the price and all the nerds will get depressed. That will be the moment when we'll finally enter capitulation phase. And then LLupine says, ha ha ha, sounds familiar. And also, wow, DC investor used to comment in the daily a ton back then. So, and then some people sharing stories of from around that time, right? Like what it was like and what kind of like reflections people have. So it might be worth you going back and having a look. And maybe it might even be worth like delving back into those old dailies right now, because the sentiment's kind of similar. It's just the price is like 10x higher, right? Well, around 7.5x now, but like still everything's up a level. But hopefully we'll get through this, all of us together, and we'll come out the other side much better for it, hopefully. And final comment of the day, today we have this one from Mirved, who says, merge the week after, weekly update number 4. So they have a table, and in that they have price, ratio, staked ETH, total ETH supply, active validators, and staking rewards. And they said like the current numbers and change since last week and change since the start, and giving an idea of where things are going and where things are. So basically the price is down, the ratio is down, staked ether is up by a very nice amount. In the last week we had 142,000 new ETH staked. Total ETH supply is up by 5,000 in the last week. Active validators are up by 4,438, and staking rewards are up by 4.1%, which they use asterisks here to say staking reward percentage might change a bit, might be a bit too soon to make any conclusions, sorry. And then they said the increase in supply per week. So 2 weeks ago, it was up by 115,000 ETH. And then 1 week ago, it was up by 180,000 ETH. And then this week, it's gone up by 5,500 ETH. And they say that this is a 97% less issuance than the week before the merge, 95% less than 2 weeks before the merge. I think there might be a mistake with this number here. 2 weeks ago, that number seems a bit low, or this one maybe seems a bit high. I don't know why there's such a big discrepancy between these two numbers. They should be kind of similar. I don't know. Maybe I'm not sure. And then when is now says even if we haven't maintained a net negative issuance yet, the increase in locked up staked ETH is significantly higher than the issuance. So there's net decrease in liquid ETH. So again, like one thing that I should add about this channel is, I'm only getting about the top, like some of the maybe 10, 12 different posts. However, we have literally dozens or maybe like 100, maybe hundreds even, threads that are in the daily every day with people sharing like really smart ideas, really smart perspectives, really smart points. And I think, this channel is not going to replace reading the whole of the daily. Like it's impossible for me to do that, right? Unless I sit here for like 4 hours and just read every post. What it is, it just gives you a flavor of where we are, where we stand, what people are talking about, what people are thinking about, and then you can like try to get value out of that yourself. So with that note and disclaimer, and with the things I already shared today, I'm going to end this now. So I'd like to say I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.